organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, see what caucus contender Ron Paul had to say during a youth rally this weekend.
And find out how one Occupy Iowa City protester is helping the cause without living at the park.
And in sports, we've got the highlights from the Hawkeye football team's victory over the Hoosiers. Daily Iowan TV starts now. Thanks for tuning in to your Sunday edition of Daily Iowan TV, your television news, sports, and weather source for the Daily Iowan. I'm Josh Bolander.
And I'm Emily Bussey. Students and local community members packed the IMU this weekend when presidential hopeful Ron Paul visited as part of a youth rally for the Republican Representatives campaign. Daily Iowan TV's Dana Davidson has more on Paul's speech as well as how students advertised his visit leading up to the weekend.
It's already been a busy week here on campus with homecoming activities underway. But Ron Paul supporters have taken the excitement to a whole new level. At the homecoming parade, students showed their support for the Republican candidate leading up to the Youth for Ron Paul rally at the Iowa Memorial Union. Earlier this week, the University of Iowa Students for Ron Paul group dressed up as TSA agents, offering voluntary airport-like pat-downs for passers-by, playing off Ron Paul's plans to eliminate the TSA's invasive security procedures and confiscation of personal items. But despite their odd tactics, they think that by spreading Paul's message, the young audience will likely nominate him as the Republican candidate.
Well, we're trying to get everyone to come to the rally as much as possible, trying to just, get our candidate's name out there. He's not on the top, but we're confident he's going to break the top two.
It's homecoming weekend here in Iowa City, but the IMU was packed with supporters for Ron Paul tonight. Now, this room can hold 800 people, but there was standing room only with 1,000 people, mostly students, here to see Ron Paul speak.
Changes from one administration to the next. What if war and
During his speech, Ron Paul hit some of his recognized key stances on political issues, especially focusing on foreign policy.
And this is just not bringing them home from the wars. We bring them home from the leftovers from the old wars. Why are we in Japan? Come home from Japan. Come home from Korea. Come home from Germany. There's no reason for us to be subsidizing them.
The presidential hopeful called for an audit of the Fed, which prompted immediate and explosive applause from the audience.
Surveying, especially as they need a full-fledged audit to find out exactly who their buddies are and who's getting the bailout.
Supporters here are confident that Paul's campaign will gain momentum with a younger audience.
I honestly wasn't all that surprised with the turnout. Dr. Paul's got a pretty big following on campus, and we did a lot of work for advertising to get the word out that he was going to be here.
Support him. I think that he's got a lot better shot than anyone makes out.
With student support and effective marketing, Paul's campaign has taken off here on campus. Dana Davidson, Daily Iowan TV.
After visiting the UI this weekend, Paul appeared on NBC's Meet the Press today, and Paul said he wants to end federal student loans, calling it a failed program.
And another presidential hopeful, Herman Cain, stopped in Iowa City this weekend. Cain visited the Iowa-Indiana football game, rode the Hawkeye Express, and also discussed his economic renewal plan. The 999 plan would set business, individual, and sales taxes at a flat 9%. Cain said his plan appeals specifically to college students who will be soon looking to secure jobs.
The Occupy Iowa City movement is heading into its third week, and the diverse group of protesters at College Green Park is sustaining the movement in a variety of ways. While the protesters who are living full-time at the park are more visible, many of the supporters who situate themselves off-site said they devote as much free time as possible to the cause.
Honestly, I just have some things to say. I mean, I want to be part of this. I want to be involved with this any way that I can.
The protesters are currently working on giving more handouts to park visitors and building a temporary tent. And Kaiser said he's focusing on a social media presence.
Basically, a lot of the stuff I've been doing, I've been using a lot of Facebook. I've been trying to get the message out there via things from YouTube, videos from YouTube, just different news articles.
Kaiser comes to the park whenever he's not at work and said he doesn't feel like he's not contributing as much because he can't camp out.
There's people all over the world that are like that. I mean, just because you're not actually camping out at a place doesn't mean you don't share the same ideals that they do.
Last week, Iowa City officials offered the protest a 4-month permit to stay at the park, but Occupy protesters are still deciding whether or not to accept the permit.
Many students competed in a massive water pong tournament today at Hubbard Park for a good cause. The event, hosted by Pi Kappa Alpha, raised money by charging teams entry fees. The winning team won the chance to donate to their charity of choice. All proceeds from the Open Division went to Dance Marathon, a campus organization that raises money for kids with cancer. The fraternity calls the game trash ball and said they hope to continue the event every year. And
still more to come from Daily Iowan TV. See what local and state officials had to say about climate change.
And find out why several locals spent their Sunday cleaning the Iowa River.
Plus, in sports, find out why former Hawk and current New York Giant Tyler Sash was back in town over the weekend.
All of this and more to come, but first let's take a look at our local weather forecast from Daily Iowan TV's Mike Howell.
Thanks, guys. It looks like the nice weather and warm temps we've been having are going to stick around for at least a few more days. Tomorrow morning around 9 a.m. we should see clear and sunny skies with temps near 51 degrees. It should be a beautiful day with highs in the afternoon around 70. And Monday night we will see no cloud coverage with temps at 10 p.m. around 60 degrees. Looking at our 6-day forecast, we have a slight chance of thunderstorms on Tuesday, but after that we should see nothing but sunny skies. But unfortunately the temps will dip down into the lower 50s for most of the week. That's a look at your local weather forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Several students and community members spent their Sunday on the banks of the Iowa River to help clean up the area. Daily Iowan TV's Nick Rector has more on the project.
The University of Iowa's community-based learning program worked together with the City of Iowa City today to hold the second annual Make a Difference Day Iowa River Bank Cleanup. Volunteers gathered at the Iowa City Peninsula Park from noon until 3, removing woody debris and trash from the riverbanks.
We're working with volunteers today. Hopefully we'll have 100 of them that are willing to come out. They'll be using things like loppers and bow saws, and we've got fellows out there with chainsaws, and we've got a chipper truck, and we're removing all the woody debris and hopefully clearing the way for the future.
The river cleanup appears to be part of Iowa City's ongoing effort to curb damage by potential future floods. Students hauled the unwanted debris towards a chipper truck where it was shredded and removed from the area. When new volunteers arrived, they registered, signed liability waivers, and then were sent out to join the rest of the cleaning crew.
We're working today on the peninsula to clean out an area so that when the floods come back or when we get higher water on the Iowa River, that we've removed a lot of the debris that's come over our spillway and onto our dam.
It appears the riverbank cleanup was a success, and if you didn't get a chance to help out today, you can always clean up your act and help out next year. Nick Rector, Daily Iowan TV.
The students joined millions of volunteers from around the world this weekend as part of International Make a Difference Day.
In the face of another year of tuition increases, UI student government leaders are calling for a more aggressive lobbying approach. The State Board of Regents will vote on tuition and fees for the 2012-2013 academic year this Thursday. The UI, Iowa State, and University of Northern Iowa are all facing increases. At Iowa, in-state students would see a 3.75% increase in base tuition and fees, and out-of-state students would see an increase of 4.7%. UISG officials said they want to promote more state funding by upping their efforts to reach out to local legislators and taxpayers.
Locals and state officials gathered this afternoon to discuss the effects of climate change and how emphasizing renewable energy can help. About 35 people gathered this afternoon in the Iowa City Public Library to discuss climate change. The UN hosted the event and about 35 people took part. Residents learned about opportunities to help encourage renewable energy use. UI engineering Professor Gerald Schnorr spoke about an upcoming summit in Brazil called Rio Plus 20, a conference that marks the 20-year anniversary of climate change talks. Organizers said they hope to bring students to the event like they did 2 decades ago. However, Schnorr said the situation has evolved since then.
It's about developing a green economy that supports a sustainable way of life in the future. And it's the strengthening, improving, and developing our institutional framework so we can address challenges, including climate, but sustainable development especially.
Other speakers at the event included Senators Joe Bolcom and Connie Moutel, who said the community needs increased awareness about climate change.
And several Republican candidates gathered at the Iowa State Fairgrounds this weekend to discuss abortion and other social issues. Caucus contenders Michelle Bachmann, Herman Cain, Newt Gingrich, Ron Paul, Rick Perry, and Rick Santorum answered questions from the Iowa Faith and Freedom Coalition. Several candidates and audience members said they would support a human life amendment banning abortion. Michelle Bachmann was among the supporters, saying she will support all pro-life language that comes across her desk. Read tomorrow's Daily Iowan for more on the story.
And now Daily Iowan TV's Tyler Culver is here for a look at Hawkeye sports. Tyler?
History has been made. Wide receiver Marvin McNutt came to Iowa 4 years ago to be the play caller and the arm of the black and gold team. But now in his senior season, he's breaking records and catching the ball. Daily Iowan TV sports director Jake Abrams was at Kinnick Stadium on Saturday.
Berkey was in the house, and so were hundreds of alumni for the 100th annual homecoming football game in Iowa City. The Hoosiers looking to win their first Big Ten game on the road, and the Hawks didn't want to come in on their turf. Marcus Coker got things started with this short run into the end zone. Hawks on the board first, 7-0 Iowa. But Indiana came out of the gate with an effort to score from the start. Hoosiers quarterback Trey Robertson finds Cody Latimer to give Indiana the score. But there was something Hawkeye Nation was waiting for. Marvin McNutt to break the all-time receptions for a touchdown record. And on October 22, he got touchdown number 22 to break the record.
It's a great honor, and it's a great privilege to just be at the top of that list, because the guys that I had to beat for were some great Hawkeyes, and they'll always be a part of Iowa history.
That was an 80-yard completion for the Vandy McNutt duo, and they weren't done making their magic yet. Marvin would score 2 more times in the half, including this 29-yard pass from Vandenberg with 16 seconds left in the second quarter. McNutt had 6 receptions in this game for 3 touchdowns and 184 yards. Iowa also scored on offense 6 times out of their first 8 possessions. All in all, it was a record-breaking offensive showdown at Kinnick as the black and gold downed the Hoosiers 45-24, giving James Vandenberg and company their 5th win of 2011.
I think we came out and we knew what we had to do, and we executed, throwing the ball, running the ball. We were able to keep a good balance there, and just a lot of guys doing their job really well, and that was key for us in that first half.
James Vandenberg came into the day today with a goal on his mind. That was to get the ball to Marvin McNutt so he could break the all-time receptions for a touchdown record. He did. Now he has a new goal on his mind, and that's to get his first road win of his career versus Minnesota next Saturday. From a sunny Kinnick Stadium, Jake Abrams, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Former Hawkeye safety and current New York Giants rookie Tyler Sash was signing autographs at Shields in Coralville Friday afternoon. Autographs were $1 each, and proceeds went to the Brett Greenwood Foundation. Hundreds of fans came out for the event, and Shields also donated for the cause. Sash was initially shocked upon hearing what had happened to his former teammate and wanted to do whatever he could to help out.
I just want to come back and do anything I could to help out a teammate, one of my best friends on the team, and I don't think I'm doing anything different than anybody else on the team would do for me if I was in the same situation.
Donations to the fund will go to supporting Greenwood's recovery from his coma, which was due to an abnormal heart condition developed during his training. The foundation also hopes to contribute funds to the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics and the Iowa Athletics Department in the form of an endowed scholarship in Brett's name. For more information on the Brett Greenwood Foundation, go to brettgreenwoodfoundation.com. And the Iowa women's soccer team took on Northwestern on senior day at the Iowa Soccer Complex. A large crowd was on hand to say goodbye to 6 senior players. Iowa came out fighting. Iowa's first goal came in the 36th minute by junior Jade Grimm. However, the Wildcats weren't going to give in that easily as Kate Allen shot from 25 yards out to tie the game. But Iowa came back quickly. With 15 seconds left in the first half, junior Dana Dalrymple gave the Hawkeyes a 2-1 lead. Iowa started the second half strong, scoring 4 goals in the 19 minutes. Freshman Chloe Lacasse and sophomore Leigh DeMoss each contributed 2 goals, making the final score 6-1. Head coach Ron Rainey believes it was the team's finishing chances that gave Iowa the W.
We're being aggressive, and it's because we're playing with confidence and playing hard. There were a couple times where we could have worked on our communication, but I'm very proud of the way the team responded in the second half.
The Hawkeyes play their final Big Ten game against Wisconsin on Saturday at the Iowa Soccer Complex. That's your look at Hawkeye sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Tyler. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek at Monday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Read about how one UI employee helps university staff and faculty who speak English as a second language. Plus, read the Daily Iowan sports analysis of the Hawkeyes' victory over Indiana.
And here's a quick look at Monday's weather forecast. During the day, we can expect sunny skies with a high of 71 degrees. Going into the evening, there will be a low of 50 degrees with a chance of showers. That's your latest update from Daily Iowan TV. You can tune in tomorrow at the same time or check us out anytime online at dailyiowantv.com. Until next time, for Emily Bussey, I'm Josh Bolander for Daily Iowan TV.